Morning, everyone.
Good morning, Rabbi.
We are learning Mishnah Shabbos, Perek Zayin, Mishnah Aleph, Chapter 7, Mishnah Aleph, Mishnah 1. I'd like to dedicate this morning's learning in memory of my mother, Mrs. Shlomo Rabinowitz, Shlomo Spas Rabbi Yaakov Eliezer. Learning should be as a chusfer in the Neshama. Okay, Klal Gadol Amru B'Shabbos. An important rule was said regarding Shabbos. Now, the premise that we have to start with is the fact that the Torah tells us that if a person unintentionally commits a Torah prohibition, they're liable to a chatas, to a carbon chatas, to a sin offering. That's going to be the focus of today's Mishnah. In a situation where a person does multiple desecrations of Shabbos, how many chatois, how many sin offerings does he have to bring? Mm-hmm. The mere fact that he may have done so many number of transgressed so many number of prohibitions is not necessarily going to be indicative of how many sin offerings one has to bring. So the Mishnah starts like this: Ikar Shabbos. One who forgets the primary principle of Shabbos. That means to say, he basically forgets about the such a thing as Shabbos. May sound a little bit bizarre, but that's the case in the Mishnah. He just forgot such a thing as Shabbos. He's not intentionally ignoring Shabbos, because if you intentionally transgress, you don't bring a carbon chatas or bring a sin offering. There always has to be a shogi. There always has to be unintentional, that somehow or another it has evaded you. So in a situation where kol ha'sheicheach ikar Shabbos, one who forgets the primary principle of Shabbos, meaning the fact that there is Shabbos, meaning he just forgot about Shabbos. And because of that, he performed many types of forbidden activities over many Shabboses. At the end of the day, how many chatoyas sin offerings is he liable to? One. Because the root of all the mistakes that he made was the fact that he forgot about Shabbos, forgot there's such a thing as Shabbos. So being that, and these and all the different laws that we're going to have here in the Mishnah are all based on what we derive from different psukim, different verses from the Torah. So the point, so the first case is if you forget the principle of Shabbos, so now all the mistakes you made after that stems from this one mistake. The halacha is you will bring a grand total of one chatas, one sin offering. Next case, Hayodei Ikar Shabbos. He knows the principle of Shabbos. He knows about Shabbos. V'asmalachas harbe. He did many types of work, but Shabboses harbe, over many Shabboses. Now, the wording doesn't tell us exactly, so where is his mistake exactly? All it says is he knows about Shabbos. He did many different works over many different Shabboses. The Mishnah says, Chayav kol Shabbos v'Shabbos. You are liable for each Shabbos. So that means like this. That means from the fact that the Mishnah says that you're liable for each Shabbos, that shows us what the case here is. The case here is that his mistake was the fact that somehow or another, it comes out that every time Shabbos comes up, he thinks it's Friday. Every week he loses track of what day is Shabbos. So every time Shabbos comes, he thinks it's Friday. And he does all, so he knows Shabbos exists, right? It's not like he forgot about the principle of Shabbos. He knows about the principle of Shabbos, just that he doesn't, he's missing out every Shabbos when Shabbos comes, that it's Shabbos. Okay.
This isn't the if someone's stranded on
a
desert.
No, that's not what we're talking about here. No.
Okay.
And therefore here the case is that each case time it's going ahead and he is forgetting, he's making a mistake. Every day time Shabbos comes, he thinks it's a different day. So therefore, again, where does his mistake come from? Comes from his mistakes. The activities that he done comes from the fact that he is oblivious or he forgets about the fact that this day is Shabbos. That's where it comes from. Now, nonetheless, the Mishnah says you're chayav for each and every Shabbos. The only way that's possible is if we say like this, and this is what we do say, and that is, it's pretty hard to lose track of time for too long a time. Like, it's not, it's not, it could come out, meaning the way the Bartender explains is that at some point during the week, right, when he thought it was Friday, then he realized it's Shabbos, by Sunday, Monday, he's going to realize, I made a mistake. It was really Shabbos, okay? But then again, he gets all, whatever he is, next Friday, Shabbos comes, and again, he gets mixed up, and he thinks Shabbos is Friday. After Shabbos, he's, okay, oh well, really was Shabbos that day. This is the case. The case is his because if there's no realization of your mistake in between, it's still considered like one big forgetting, one big mistake. You have to have some kind of realization in between to be able to divide it up. So therefore, if the Mishnah says that you're going to be liable for each and every Shabbos, then the case is that again, for each and every Shabbos, the case was he forgot it was Shabbos. He mixed up the days. He thinks it's Shabbos. He thinks it's not Shabbos. But in between, he realizes a mistake, so that the next mistake, when he forgets again, mixed up with the days and he thinks not Shabbos, it's a new mistake. But at the end of the day, so it comes out that the different mistakes are each time that he forgets that, or that he mixes up the day, Friday with Shabbos, and he thinks it's not Shabbos. But all the activities that he does are all coming from the mistake of Shabbos. And therefore, he's not liable for those activities. He's only liable of a chatas per Shabbos. Now, next case.
Friday is Shabbos. He thinks that he mixed up the days, or he thinks Friday is the day that you keep Shabbos.
No. He's mixing up the days.
He mixed up the days.
Yeah. Next. Hayodea shehu Shabbos. He knows it's Shabbos. V'asa harbe b'Shabbos has harbe, and he did many different forbidden activities over many different Shabboses. Chayav al kol av malacha. He is liable. His face does bring a sin offering, chatas, for each av malacha, for each and every av malacha, each and every primary form of forbidden activity on Shabbos. Now, before I explain the case, we mentioned many times before that when it comes to Shabbos, the laws of Shabbos, forbidden activities are Shabbos, malacha, what's considered work on Shabbos. There are 39 avos malachas, 39 primary forms of forbidden activity on Shabbos. Those 39 forms were found in the construction of the Mishkan. They are the avos, are the primary forms, and anything similar to them is called toilades, is called children, second tier, subdivisions, whatever, subcategories, whatever word you want to use. Now, but both of them are deraisa, both of them are Torah prohibitions. They're not their abundance. Okay. Yeah. So now, in our case, back to the case of the Mishnah. Our Mishnah says here the guy knows it's Shabbos, right? Meaning he knows the day is Shabbos. He did many different activities. He's chayiv, he's liable for each primary form of activity. So that means like this: he knows it's Shabbos, but the activities that are forbidden, he doesn't know they're forbidden. He forgot they were forbidden, right? He forgot they were forbidden. He doesn't realize they're forbidden. So now we say, okay, so his mistake doesn't stem from Shabbos. It stems from his forgetting that the forms of work that he did are forbidden. Therefore, we say he's chayav for each form of work. However, what the Mishnah is saying, though, is you're liable for each av malacha. So that means that, for instance, let's say a guy went ahead and did, he plowed, harvested, and planted, right? Chayresh, whatever. Okay, he did all three of them. Okay, he plowed, he planted, he harvested. He did all three. Those are three different forms of malacha. Each one is an av malacha. Each one has a primary form of malacha. Therefore, if he did those three different av malachas, he will be chayav an offering for each one. In that case, he did three. He'll be chayav for three. Okay. Now, let's just go to the next part of the Mishnah, because this is important. This is an important qualification for what we just said. If you do many forbidden activities of work on Shabbos that are similar to one activity, and you're only liable for one sin offering. So that means, if let's say on Shabbos, you went ahead and you, let me just get a case here, what they have. Yes, we should have a good case. All right, here we go. A person, there's a malacha called teichen, right? Grinding. All right. Okay. So when he did this av malacha, hold on one second. Yeah. When he did this av malacha, he went ahead and he ground wheat into flour, okay, chopped vegetables, and cut wood to make sawdust. So here you have three similar forms of the same malacha, right? You have the ab malacha, you have the tolda, you have the primary form, you have the secondary form. If you do many types of activities, each one's forbidden, but they're all of the same type of, they're all the same type of forbidden activity.
Same category.
Same category. There's only going to be one sin offering. So each one is its own avera. That's not a question. And each one you forgot that it was also forbidden to do on Shabbos. But when you're doing many different activities, all the same type, you only chayiv one sin offering, only one chatas. So therefore, when the Mishnah said before that you knew it was Shabbos and you did many activities over many Shabbosos, you're liable for each and every Av Malaka that you did. Okay? So again, if you were to do, like we had 3 Av Malachas, you would have 3 Chatais. If you did an Av Malacha and a Tolda, and it's Tolda, okay, what would you be chai? How many Chatais would you be liable for? 1. Okay. Let's say you went ahead and you did 2 Toldos from 2 different Av Malachas. You'd still be chayiv. You wouldn't be. You're chayiv for each. And let me check. Let me double check this one.
2 told us.
1 second. 1 second. No, sorry, not that. Cases he went ahead. If he went ahead and he did different Av Malachas, to be chayiv a chatos for each Av Malacha, or to do an Av Malacha and its Tolda, the Tolda of that Av Malacha, the Malacha would be how many chatos you'd be liable for? 1. Because that's Malachas Harbe Me'ein Malacha Achas.
All one category.
Right. You all belong to the same category.
You forgot that.
So therefore, being that so again, anytime it works with the category, it works with the primary Av Malacha, right? So if it works with the primary Av Malacha, if you do an Av Malacha and it's Tolda, it's still considered 1 halam. It's still considered 1 forgetting, one getting away from you. Okay, and therefore the Mishnah says in that case you may have done many malachas over many Shabbosos. You'll be liable for each Av Malacha. Then the Mishnah said if you did many malachas similar to 1 malacha, in a chayv alachatas achas, which is really the way of explaining the first half of the Mishnah, the previous part of the Mishnah. The Mishnah said you're liable for each and every Av Malacha, where you're to do many malachas, many different activities similar to 1, which would mean you're doing an Av Malacha together with its Tolda, or this is what I really meant to say before, or 2 Toldas of the same Av Malacha. That's considered 1. And you only chayv 1 chatas, 1 sin offering for that.
Even for many Shabbosos?
Even for many Shabbosos.
Because he forgot
his main point is that he's forgetting the categories.
That was only 1.
He knows there's Shabbos, he knows it's Shabbos. The problem is he's forgetting the malachas. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you.
So to clarify, so the case